Welcome back, everyone. NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me today to this new episode of Music with Nick. Today, we got a marathon requested by JK. Thank you so much, JK, for sponsoring this marathon. And this is inspired by 60s pop rock bands. And let's take a look here at the list. Well, it says more 60s pop marathon. I don't know if it's pop rock, but hey, let's check it out. So again, thanks everybody for being here. You know, you might have clicked on the video because of the title. Maybe there's an artist that grabbed your attention. So again, thank you so much for being here. So it says from JK Heineck, the death of the 60s pop star Christie a few weeks ago inspired this marathon. I guess you could call these songs the pop. I guess you could call these songs the opposite of prog. Incredibly short songs with catchy melodies and simplistic lyrics. I was a little kid when these songs were hits on the radio. This probably sets the record for the shortest marathon to date. Oh, wow. So we're going to try, obviously, to make it as long as we can. But so I know that songs like these are very, very short. And sometimes even when they're like, when the song really gets good is when it kind of like fades out. That's just the way it was back in the 60s. So we're going to do Lightning Strikes Again by Christie from 1965. And it says here recently died at the age of 82. Walk Like a Man by Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, also from 63. It says this band's story was told in the Broadway musical Jersey Boys. I actually have the movie. It says also which was then made into a movie by Clint Eastwood. There you go. Very cool movie. I just love Clint Eastwood as a director, insanely talented, also as an actor, of course. Who doesn't love the good, the bad, and the ugly? It's My Party by Lesley Gore, 1963. Lesley was only 16 when she recorded this #1 hit, an early production credit for Quincy Jones. There you go, in the 60s. And then I Wonder What She's Doing Tonight by Tommy Boyce and Bobby Hart, 1968. These guys wrote hit songs for a lot of people. For example, the next song, Valleri by the Monkees, 1968. Music by the Wrecking Crew. Those are so good. Since the Monkees played no instruments on their records till later on. This should be fast and fun for you, Nick. JK, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I don't mind going as long as we can. Sometimes in marathons, it gets really long because there's a lot to cover, So I'll have the lyrics pulled up, some trivia, to make it a little bit more interesting for you guys. So I'll do that to, give it a little bit more, attention. So let's just pull up Christie here. On Wikipedia, and then I have a better understanding as well, right? Okay. All right, so here we go with the first song, Lightning Strikes Again. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoy. If you do, please comment below and leave a like, and if you want to subscribe, of course, go ahead. All right, here we go.
You gotta understand, you're old enough to know the makings of a man. Listen to me, baby, it's hard to settle down. Am I asking too much for you to stick around? Every boy wants a girl he can trust to the very end. Baby, that's you, won't you wait? But till then, when I see your lips begging to be Nature's taken over my one-track mind. Believe it or not, you're in my heart all the time. All the girls are saying that you'll end up a fool. For the time being, baby, live by my rules. When I settle down, I want one baby on my mind. Forgive and forget, and I'll make up for all lost time. If she's put together fine, if she's in my mind, stop. I can't stop. Stop. I can't stop myself. Lightning striking again. Lightning striking again There's a chapel in the pines waiting for us around the bend. Picture in your mind, love forever. But till then, if she gives me a sign that she wants to make time, stop. I can't stop. Stop. I can't stop myself. Lightning striking again. Lightning striking again.
All right. Very good. Actually, that was actually long enough, for the whole thing kind of like to, I don't know, it really worked that it was a little bit over 3 minutes, What a crazy good falsetto. Like I think I've only heard that kind of singing from the Bee Gees, I think, when it goes really into that next pitch, really, really cool. And also very, I don't know, just very playful, the lyrics. I really liked it. So it says here, there's some people, there's younger people in the audience as well. So it says here, here's a detailed look at Luke Christie, a 1960s pop icon, best known for his soaring falsetto and chart-topping hits. Born Luigi Alfredo Giovanni Sacco in 1943, Christie grew up in Glen Willard, Pennsylvania. His stage name was chosen early in his career when he signed with Roulette Records. All right. And it says here the signature sound and hits falsetto power. He embraced high-pitched vocals, a high-pitched vocal style most prominent on the hits like The Gypsy Cried and Two Faces I Have. The latter reaching number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100. Lightning Strikes, co-written with Twyla Herbert. This dramatic anthem hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, went gold in top charts in the US and Canada. There you go. I mean, I'm not surprised. This was just fantastic. It says here, Christie partnered for decades with Twyla Herbert, a classically trained composer. Over 2 decades his senior, they co-wrote nearly all his early material. And then it says also he served in the U.S. Army in the late 60s, briefly pausing his music career. In 1969, he returned to the charts with I'm Gonna Make You Mine, which hit the U.S. top 10 and UK number 2. Continued performing through 2010, releasing new material. There you go. And later toured as part of the Golden Boys alongside Frankie, Avalon, and Fabian. And then here it says, in recent news, Christie passed away on June 17th, 2025 at 82 following a brief illness. There you go. Unfortunately, I consider 82 much too young, you know, but I mean, it happens. It's just, you know, out of our control. That's but this was really, really good. And there's some really cool pictures of him here younger. I would really love to see him do this voice even in his older days, you know. I'm sure that's going to be a lot of fun, but that really threw me off, and I really like that style, that almost like, well, yes, you know, the Beach Boys, you know, the Bee Gees. Not a lot of I think the Bee Gees is the best example of what I know, who does this kind of falsetto, but I'm sure I've heard this man before in something different, but I wouldn't know the names. But it's just something recognizable, you know. So really cool. So Luke Christie, we're gonna take it now to Walk Like a Man, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. So let's check out. Now this is, yes, like Jacob was saying, a little bit shorter, and let's pull him up while we listen to this. Here we go. Walk Like a Man. There you go, man. So this is obviously a perfect example. Like when I said Bee Gees, I think Bee Gees was a lot was later in time. So this is obviously a perfect example how wrong I was when I said, you know, the Bee Gees come to mind. If I would have known Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, I would have said they come to mind, because the same style of the falsetto, and just really, really, really good, short and sweet, and very catchy. Just like it's just the music is very simple, but it's more about the vocals. It's more about the being young and and I don't know, just like this whole, I mean, Big Girls Don't Cry. I don't know. It's just like that time, there's something about it when you see, movies and in that era, it was so different. It was special, people used to dress up, to all the time. Everybody looked kind of nice, I guess, that's what I see when I see period pieces. Even when you see footage of before, like in the 30s and 40s, everybody was wearing a hat, suits, every kind of like try to look nice while being outside. And I think that continued through the 50s and 60s. Of course, then in the 60s, it got a little bit more, free and stuff. People started to dress a little bit crazier and more, I guess more liberating, I guess, for lack of a better explanation. But it says here, who are they? Who were they? Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons were one of America's most successful pop rock, I guess, there you go. What I said, pop rock vocal groups formed in 1960 in Newark, New Jersey. The classic lineup included Frankie Valli, Bob Gaudio, Tom DeVito, and Nick Massey. It says here, the signature sound, famous for tight harmonies with high energy pop, Frankie Valli's distinctive falsetto was their trademark. Again, super cool. It's just something that sounds so of its time, seamlessly blended doo-wop, pop, and early rock. So I'm not really familiar with those styles of music, doo-wop. So then they got their biggest hits. Of course, the legacy, inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1990, inspired the Tony-winning Broadway musical Jersey Boys, which told their story and reviewed interest in their music, influenced countless vocal groups with their harmonies and Valli's soaring lead. And I guess that's when, bands come in like the one that I was talking about. And of course, it did inspire the movie, and it says here, Frank Valli, now in his late 80s, continued to tour under his name, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, with newer band members. And yeah, it's, a little bit of Frankie Valli for you guys, if you didn't know, of course. And I'm sure most of the people who's going to watch this marathon are going to know exactly. Okay, so let's change it up here. We're going to go now with Lesley Gore and It's My Party. I don't know, I might have heard this before, because if it's the one then this one must be, I think, in the typical, movie scene. Let's see, let's take a look at her. Okay, let's listen to the music and let's talk about her. Here we go.
It's my party and I'll cry if I want to, cry if I want to, cry if I want to. You would cry too if it happened to you. Nobody knows where
I've
my
heard the
Johnny
chorus.
has gone, but you didn't left the same time. Why was he holding her hand when he's supposed to be mine? It's my party and I'll cry if I want to, cry if I want to, cry if I want to. You would cry too if it happened to you. Play all my records, keep dancing all night, but leave me alone for a while. Till Johnny's dancing with me, I've got no reason to smile. It's my party and I'll cry if I want to,
Yes.
cry if I want to, cry if I want to. You would cry too if it happened to you. Judy and Johnny just walked through the door like a queen with her king. Oh, what a birthday surprise! Judy's wearing his ring. It's my party and I'll cry if I want to, cry if I want to, cry if I want to. You would cry too if it happened to you. Oh, it's my party and I'll cry if I want to, cry if I want to, cry
so iconic. This I've heard this many times. Specifically the chorus that it's my party. In just movies or everywhere, commercials, whatever. Just it is out there, you know. So that one was almost like when I read the title, it's like it's my party. Isn't that the, you know, when it comes in. So let's check her out here a little bit, you know. It says here, who was she? Born Lesley Goldstein in Brooklyn, May 2nd, 1946. My mom was born 1946. Raised in Tenafly, New Jersey. Her family later changed their name to Gore. Discovered as a teenager by Quincy Jones, she shot to fame at age 16 with the chart-topping single It's My Party. In 1963, major hits and impact followed up hits including Judy's Turn to Cry, She's a Fool, Sunshine, Lollipops and Rainbows, and the bold feminist anthem You Don't Own Me, which became her signature track and reached number 2 on the Billboard charts. Her music skillfully captured teen emotions, heartbreak, defiance, empowerment, in tight pop arrangements produced by Quincy Jones. That's just, I mean, Quincy Jones, I mean, what he did with Michael Jackson is just, that's never going to happen again. I guess, I wish it would happen again, but I mean, it happened even before, and Quincy Jones is obviously a musical, may you rest in peace, was a musical genius. I mean, I consider him that in every way. It says later career and it says studied English literature at Sarah Lawrence College, graduating in 1968 while continuing her musical pursuits, transitioned into songwriting and composing, co-wrote the Academy Award nominated Out Here on My Own for the film Fame, 1980, with her brother Michael, came out publicly as lesbian in the 2000s and became an advocate for LGBTQ rights, hosting PBS in The Life. It says here, legacy and passing. Oh, I didn't know that she was deceased. It says Lesley Gore passed away on February 16th, 2015 in New York City from lung cancer at the age of 68, survived by her long-term partner, Louis Sasson. She's remembered as the queen of teen angst, with tracks that still resonate across generations. Her feminism forward lyrics continue to inspire. And then it also says here why she's so important and why does she matter. A teen pop star with sophisticated emotional depth, her music captured everything from heartbreak, It's My Party, to female independence, You Don't Own Me. Collaborating with Quincy Jones, Lesley helped elevate pop production and vocal arrangements in the early 1960s. Later embraced roles as composer, activist, and trailblazer for LGBTQ representation in media. Very, very interesting. You know, I love all the information that you can get by a single, you know, Google search, and Wikipedia is always so informative. I really love this website because you can, you know, it's so cool to listen to something and get a little bit of more of a backstory of who this person was and where they went afterwards, and not just like, you know, oh, they're a musician, you know. There's much more that people get into, you know, in their lives. And obviously, and I do want to, you know, introduce if for people that are new to the channel or just younger audiences, you know, to know a little bit more. So let's check out here Tommy Boyce and Bobby Hart, and I wonder what she's doing tonight. So let's check him out.
If I had told her that I loved her, she would have stayed till who knows when. But I guess she couldn't understand it when I said I wanna be your friend. myself I didn't lose her. Cause you can't lose a friend you never had. Come on now. Because a friend won't say it's over and go out just for a spite. And now I wonder what she's doing tonight. Oh yes, I wonder what she's doing tonight. Oh, I wonder what she's doing tonight. All right, Bobby, let's go. 'Cause a friend will always be there if you're wrong or if you're right. And now I wonder what she's doing tonight. Oh yes, I wonder what she's doing tonight. Oh, I wonder what she's doing tonight. Sha la 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 tonight. Sha la 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 tonight.
Very cool, like brass section. I love, you know, the way they sing together. Just really, really cool. It reminded me a little bit of the Moody Blues, like the doom, 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 doom. Like the Moody Blues, their earlier stuff, like, you know, I'm not that super versed, but like Write My Seesaw and those like more really moving, like very like there's a lot of stuff happening. Also in the progressive stuff, obviously, but I mean, just like when it goes more like I'm talking about a bass and an acoustic guitar and some drums. That's what it reminded me of. You know, the Moody Blues, and so it's there's some pictures of them together. It says who they were. Tommy Boyce and Bobby Hart teamed up around 1959-1960, combining talents as singer-songwriters in Los Angeles. Their partnership reached a full stride by 1966 with over 300 songs written by the mid-60s. Imagine that's just 2 years. That is insane. Like, imagine that outpour of talent and ideas. Wow. As Boyce and Hart, they recorded 3 A&M albums, Test Patterns, I Wonder What She's Doing Tonight, what we just heard. It's all happening on the inside. Their biggest solo hit, I Wonder What She's Doing Tonight, what we just heard, reached number 8 on Billboard in early 1968, was certified gold, and even had multilingual versions. I'm sure they did it in German. I'm going to look it up. Behind the Monkees, they crafted the sound of the Monkees, writing hits like Last Train to Clarksville, theme from the Monkees, I Want to Be Free, and Valleri. They built, which we're going to listen to right now, they built the original instrumental tracks with their band, the Candy Store Prophets, before producers later added the Monkees vocals. Boyce and Hart even performed backup on Monkees tracks, and boom, sometimes their voices appear clearly. Duo as performers beyond writing, they had modest performing success, scoring 3 top 40 singles, including the hit Out and About an Alice Long. They toured widely, including promotional tours in Europe in 1968 with material in multiple languages. And then it says here, reuniting the Monkees in the mid-70s, they joined Mickey Dolenz, Davy Jones for the band Dolenz, Jones, and Boyce and Hart, touring the US, Japan, and even Thailand. Released a Capitol album in 1976 and a live album afterward. The impact and legacy, the duo's songwriting catalog spans pop, bubblegum, rock. I love that. I want to really listen to bubblegum. Rock, theme songs, For example, Days of Our Lives and TV film exposure. Together, they sold over 42 million records with over 300 original songs published. That's insane. That is, those are the artists, that, and crazy that some people have no idea who these people are, including myself, But hey, there it is. It also says why it matters. They bridged behind the scenes songwriters and face of the band performers, shaping the sound of pop music, the Monkees phenomenon, and early bubblegum rock. I really want to listen to. I mean, if this is bubblegum rock, I like bubblegum rock. All right, so now the Monkees, which is I'm sure I've heard them before. Let me click on the Monkees here real quick, and I'm a Believer, I think. I don't know. Daydream Believer. Me and Magdalena. I don't know. I'm sure. I mean, I know the name, the Monkees, So let's check him out here. The Monkees, Valleri, and we'll talk about them afterwards.
And I wouldn't live without her, even if I could. They call her Valleri. I love her Valleri. Oh yeah, come on.
Sounds very Beatles.
But she sure looks different than the way she looked before. I call her
Very cool guitar. I mean, that person was shredding, and very, very cool. Like, it does remind me of the Beatles. That I don't know, something about them. Maybe the harmonies. Let's check him out here. Let's read about him a little bit. It says here, very, very cool. The Monkees were an American pop rock group created in 1965 for a television sitcom about a fictional band inspired by the Beatles. Okay, A Hard Day's Night. Members Mickey Dolenz, Davy Jones, Michael Nesmith, and Peter Tork. They started as actors but quickly became a real band, which is awesome, as well performing and recording in their own right. That is something so freaking cool. I mean, you come up with something, you're like a fake band and you become the real deal. I love that. And they're really good. I mean, that sounded really, really good. A signature hits, I'm a Believer, written by Neil Diamond, #1 hit. Last Train to Clarksville, theme from the Monkees. Daydream a Believer, Pleasant Valley Sunday. They mix catchy bubblegum pop with elements of folk rock and psychedelic rock. Yeah, this one was a little bit more, I would say it had that psychedelic attack, I guess. The TV show aired on NBC from 1966 to 1968, mixing slapstick humor with musical performances, won 2 Emmy Awards in 1967, including Outstanding Comedy Series, helped push the group's popularity into Beatlemania-like levels. That's big, Beatlemania. I mean, not everyone, Musical legacy here. In the beginning, studio musicians played the instruments while the Monkees sang. So we're talking about the Wrecking Crew, right? JK, let's see here. The Wrecking Crew, yes. That for some reason is not here. By their third album, Headquarters, 1967, they fought for a gained musical independence. Performing their own instruments and writing more songs. I mean, yes. Their experimentation included psychedelic sound and even cult classic film, which was Head in 1968. The impact they had: sold more than 75 million records worldwide, widely seen as pioneers of manufactured pop bands. I guess this is what turned into the boy bands later on, yet respected for eventually breaking free creatively. Their TV reruns and later reunions tours in the 1980s and 2010s sparked new generations of fans. Now, recent here is Michael Nesmith, passed away in 2021. Mickey Dolenz remained the last surviving Monkee and still tours. That's incredible, honoring their musical legacy. So a little bit about the Monkees here. Really cool stuff. Really cool music. Again, thank you so much, JK, for doing these, keeping me busy here as well, giving you guys content. And it's always fun to get into the kind of like, stuff that the song doesn't talk about, or Spotify, there is some information, but I really like to look up the musicians especially when it's a shorter song, to give you guys a little bit more. It's still a short marathon, but hey, I hope this was fun. This is definitely music that I enjoy, that I would listen to again, that I would love to see live. I just had the pleasure to see a musical legend, Elvis Costello, here in Denver, Colorado. Really, really amazing evening that his band and him were really, really playing an amazing sets of music, and I really had a great time. Again, thank you so much, Lee, for taking me, Lee and Mike and Doug for being there with me, and we had a blast listening to Elvis Costello doing his thing. That was wonderful. Again, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I hope you enjoyed this little video, this little marathon. This was definitely a lot of fun. I'm gonna look up Bubblegum Rock, and I'm gonna listen to it while I edit this video. Again, thank you so much, JK, for all your love, for your support, towards this channel, and everyone that watches this video. I really appreciate it. Like I said, it does really go a long way if you like the video, and especially if you subscribe, and if you want to leave a comment. How old were you when you were listening to this music? Was it, were you in your teenage years and stuff like that, and yeah, let me know. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you all in the next one.